So I just had my fourth session of inner dance, and wow, I must say it's freaking amazing. It's so subtle how different it is from KAP, but also how similar it is. You can see that with inner dance, it's like the original quietness from which all emerges, and then with KAP, it's like the stream of energy that's that's like a heartbeat that's intense and fiery and awakens and transforms. But they have like this very similar quality about them. Yeah, although inner dance has more a water quality to my experience, whereas in KAP there's more a fire quality in my experience. Maybe an earth, but more fire. Anyway, so this session, so last session, because we're going through a facilitator training, we learned to be a facilitator. So we had to facilitate, and the other students had to be a participant. And then this time we reversed the roles. So this time we were just participants. So the moment I laid down on the floor, nothing was happening. Right? It was very ordinary. That like, okay, close my eyes. The moment I close my eyes, the moment the music starts, like my third eye, there's a pressure, like a shift of consciousness. Something in me is moving, but it's not like with KAP. With KAP, like I feel like a warm glow comes over me, like a sheet, and it's covering me with warmth, and it's penetrating me. Here, it's just my own energy innately wakes up, and it starts to move. Like like it's like dancing in the emptiness, in the nothingness of it all. And so in the beginning there was just so much movement, so much dancing, so much yoga poses, like the heart, opening the heart, mudras, saying weird mantras that I had no idea what they were about, fluting a lot, so much fluting, and for such long periods. And then at a certain point my consciousness shifted to go into my heart. All of a sudden I felt how it was to be the heart. Not how I experienced the heart, but my consciousness, the way my consciousness now experiences these five senses, the body, the spirit, and whatever's happening inside the body. Now my consciousness was in my heart, and it was like my consciousness was experiencing the limitations, testing the boundaries of what it means to be a heart. And I felt this multi-complexity, infinite spaciousness, openness, gentleness, and this capacity to love, to give, this unending depth of just goodness. Not goodness as in good or bad, but in just a goodwill, an inclusion, a sense of it's very difficult to describe, but it was so beautiful. Like I really wanted to cry because I just felt how it was without identity. It had no identity. It just was. It just was. And then all of a sudden I started to see people in my life with whom I had a connection, a cord. And I also saw labels that I had put up for myself. Like people had sometimes put labels for me that I was this kind of person, or I was that, or this, calling me names. And I saw how those labels had like an energetic quality to them, and I was connected to that. And like all the cords started to be cut. And the moment the cord started to be cut, I felt something in my consciousness shift, and I felt my own energy return to myself. I felt energy being stuck there, coming back here. And at one moment, I saw a girl. So let me backtrack. For the last couple 6, 7, 8 sessions of KAP, I've started to see this one woman. And I started to see her in all different kind of ways. It was very surprising to me, but I saw her like we were soulmates or twin flames. I saw how her energy connected with my energy. We were merging as one energy. I saw different lifetimes, and I started to cry. I started to feel like on a soul level this pain, like I missed you so much. I missed you so much. I love you so much. I missed you. And I felt that memory of what was, the bond that maybe was forgotten, but that had been there and is still there. And then I had like different sessions where I saw how I was putting a ring on her, she was putting a ring on me, and I felt energetically bonded to her, stuck to her. I saw where we had conceived a child, where we had intimacy, where she was impregnated, where I was a father, she was a mother, when I was driving to her. I saw sessions where we stood together as masculine and feminine, where we were like a couple that needed to consciously co-create together. Like all these things, right? And mind you, after like you have a session like that and you have like these visions and these experiences, energetically, your thoughts and your energy are very strongly drawn towards that person, right? But I never acted upon them because I didn't want to force my experience on another person's reality. But lately, there was a couple of days ago, I asked the person, like, I'm having feelings for you. I'm having all these visions about you, and I need to know, do you have feelings for me? Do you feel a connection between us? Because after each session that I had, I would receive either messages from her out of nowhere or messages from somebody else that had something to do with twin flames or soulmates or relationship or how I need to step up into a sacred union. I was so like, why did these messages, these synchronous messages come up that have to do with that thing? So anyway, I was ignoring it. And then I told her, do you have feelings for me? Like, I need to know. Like, either tell me you have feelings for me or reject me. She didn't say I don't have feelings for you. She didn't say I don't have a bond with you. What she said was, I cannot reject you. You're the only one who can reject yourself. Take some time, be quiet, center yourself, be with yourself, let go of your child, of your inner child, cry, let your heart, and be still. Like, she's a bit more advanced than me in her own development. And she has gone through a lot more. She's a bit older than me. And I see that something in me, like my mind, when I got all this information, it wanted to use this information like, I need to do something with it. I need to go into a relationship, right? But then, like, I was reading about it, and I realized somebody had said it on an Instagram post. Not all connections between like these very strong energetic connections are meant to propel you to have a relationship. Don't box it in as this means you need to have a relationship, because the purpose of the connection might be entirely different to what you project onto it with your human ideas. Primarily, it's to stimulate each other to grow spiritually, to evolve spiritually, to become all that you can be. And I did notice that the moment I met her, there was a fear to be near her, because every time I was near her, I felt I'm unworthy. If she gets to know me, she will see how much flaws I have, how much unconsciousness I have, how much bad habits I have that my previous partner couldn't live with, and she won't accept me as well. And I had this thing like, I don't want to be in a position where she denies me, so I started to ignore her, to keep away from her, to not go near her, right? Started to run. And then at a certain point, I saw through that and thought like, why am I avoiding the inevitable, right? Why am I? Because there's a saying that says, whatever you resist persists, right? So the thing that you push away, you will be most attached to, right? So I thought, okay, if she's gonna reject me, let her reject me. So I told her, and she kept giving these poetic answers, like focus on yourself. But she never said no, and I told her explicitly, just say I don't have any feelings for you. It's not the same for me. She never said that. She just said, stop, don't do this. And I said, okay, I take that as you don't have any feelings for me and you don't have a connection for me, right? I asked you multiple times. You you said nothing to say yes, and you kept going away from it. And for me, that's a sign that there's probably nothing in it for you, right? That it's not mutual. So if it's not mutual, that part of my KAP visions, I'm just gonna categorize as, you know, nice experiences on an energetic level, but that don't necessarily translate into my purpose or my life or things I have to do or things I have to go through or live out. It's just like, okay, and now I can understand, okay, when this happens, when I have visions about her, it doesn't mean anything, right? Because before I thought maybe it meant something. So I said, okay, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. You don't necessarily have to talk to him anymore. Just, okay, you go your way, I go my way. So in this session, sorry for the long background, but had to understand the context. This session, all of a sudden, while I was still in my heart, I saw that there was a connection to her. And I tried to cut it, but it couldn't be cut. So then I saw how my heart was saying, I let you free. I allow you to be free unconditionally. I will always love you unconditionally. Wherever you are, with whoever you are, I don't have to possess you. I don't have to own you. You don't have to be with me. My love for you is unconditional. And I realized how freeing that was for me. That I can have the feelings, but I don't have to be with her to do something with these feelings. So the urge, the attachment came from the mind, because the mind projects that these feelings have to be expressed. These feelings have to live out, to manifest. So my heart was talking to her saying, please let me go if you're not ready to be with me. Please let me go if you don't have feelings for me. Please let me go if you don't love me or you don't have a connection with me or have no intention to be with me. Please let me go. And I just felt that it was so beautiful, almost like romantically, but it was so genuine and sincere. And I felt so thankful to just have that honesty within myself. And I felt how it was okay. If I'll never see you again, I'll never see you again. I always love you, I always have love for you, but it's okay. So all of a sudden then, I was floating and I saw these angelic beings around me, and they picked me up, danced a little bit with them, sang Elohim a couple of times, and then I did a couple of yoga poses, but then all of a sudden I was like picked from the stratosphere, and I was like, so you're on the earth, and all of a sudden it's like you're like picked up, and you're, and all of a sudden I could see the earth become smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. I could see all my attachments on earth were still there, but I was here and I was going away from it, and I realized my attachments are based on where I am, right? So because I was there, I was attached to all these things, and I had the identity of who I am. But without the earth, with nothing around me, there's nothing to be attached to. There's nothing to depend on. There's nothing to get my sense of identity from. And I realized that. And all of a sudden, like the energy shifted in me, was moving in me. It was like an energy spiral in me, coming through me, and found this spot. And it was the resistance in you towards letting go is the identity you have of experiencing the pain. So there's this I that has suffered through everything in his life, that has felt the pain, that has struggled. And if there is pain in the future, it's I that's going to feel the pain. It's I that's going to struggle with it. It's I. And this I-ness, this identification with the pain, the experiencer who suffers, that's like the thing that's holding my identity together, the sufferer. And I saw how the moment when that could be let go of, was the moment that a new consciousness, or the consciousness, could be boundless. The consciousness could work in a unmeddled way, in an unentangled way, could be free. And then I saw a vision of like satsang with Igor. Like I saw how there was a person who was giving like these talks, but I realized it wasn't me. It was just consciousness speaking through a body. And I realized like I'm not there yet. And I realized maybe that's not me. Maybe that's just another image, whatever. But it was inspiring. And then there was this one moment where I started to see all kinds of plans for this year. So I would see, okay, you need a new laptop and you need to study these things. Like it would come up, the image would come up of a new laptop and like these courses. Then this training in August, this training in September, this psychedelic, this many amount of times. I could see like the path that I needed to walk upon. It was like vision by vision, it was revealed. And I felt in my heart, this is where I need to go. This is what I need to do. This is what life is inviting me to go through. And then I saw like an event that I participated in once. It's called Inner Womb Awakening, where your hara center, your inner womb, is awakened, and the energy of your belly is tapped into. And it was facilitated by a woman who does a very, let's say, Egyptian style kind of ritual, very Egyptian-like qualities. And to my surprise, like I don't know if it is true, if it was false, but I saw that there was like a dark entity there. I saw that there were like dark entities, one or two, that were working in that process. Now that may be false, or I may not have understood it right, but it looked that way. And I remembered all of a sudden how heavy it was, how after that session I did the session in KAP, and there were so many cords, energetic cords, that were attached to me in that session, and they were released. So I saw that like a warning, don't go there anymore. Yeah, and that was about it. And then we did a sharing with the group, and I will now, like, after this video, there's a video where you will see like bits and pieces of the session. And yeah, let me know what you think. This is called Inner Dance, and it can be done virtually or in person. And it's amazing. Thank you all. Have a beautiful day. May you all enjoy happiness and the root of happiness.